What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing Moon Knight issue 9, written by Jed MacKay with art by Alessandro Capuccio. And this has been a pretty great series so far. We're 9 issues in, but it's been pretty solid so far. And great cover here too. When I got this, I wasn't sure if I was, what way to hold the cover, but this is the correct way, Moon Knight upside down. And yeah, so let's get into the story. So this issue begins with a nice page of Moon Knight being smashed out of a window of an apartment building, which is always nice. This actually was a very interesting issue. Moon Knight takes on not your typical comic book villain, and I really like the way that this was done. It was a pretty quick read, but nonetheless pretty interesting. So he ends up, some missing people in his section of New York that he patrols, and they're all missing from this same apartment building. And they went missing on the 6th floor of the building, but when he checks the blueprints, he sees there's only really supposed to be 5 floors. So, he enters the building and he ends up being pretty much trapped in it for several days. At least 3 or 4 days he's trapped in it, trying to escape. We can see all the other victims of the building who are dead in here. This kind of reminds me of, Batman with Court of the Owls when they trap him in the maze. Although this storyline is definitely very different. It's not really derivative of that. But, so basically what he finds out is that there's water in there for him to drink. You can see here in the sink and everything, but there's not food. And basically he realizes that this, whatever this building is basically trying to weaken him before it eventually tries to reach out to him and touch his mind and kind of like absorb him into the building. But obviously, if Moon Knight does have one power, it's basically his resistance to, like mental attacks and stuff like that because of his multiple personalities. So the building, doesn't take too kindly to trying to like merge him into its consciousness, and it ends up spitting him out, which is what that opening scene was of him being thrown out the window. So definitely interesting concept of this living building here. There have been other similar quote unquote characters, I guess, that are kind of like this, but and a side note too, I really love the way Moon Knight has been, kind of rendered throughout this whole series, kind of combining his all white outfit with the like black and white armored look. Basically, his costume is almost kind of like has like an iridescent shine. It's black some places, white some other places, depending the lighting and where you're looking at it. I think it's pretty effective way. And throughout this whole series, he has a very moon-like glow. Shout out to the colorist on this, last name Rosenberg. I believe it's Rochelle Rosenberg. She's done a great job, I believe. I love how Moon Knight always has kind of like a bluish-green lunar glow. Really makes the white pop out. He always looks like he's glowing. I think that's really great. So we check back in with his Avengers appointed therapist, just kind of like, oh, you were missing for a few days. But anyways, Moon Knight basically ends up going to Doctor Strange's base, and he basically asks, just asking him, does he know what this building is? And it's revealed that it's known as the House of Shadows. It's kind of like a living building. So then, Moon Knight heads back in to deal with it. He brings a bag of explosives here with him, which I was like, oh, he's just gonna blow up the building. But instead, he actually He actually kind of empathizes with the building. Kind of feels a connection to this building because both him and the building, people have just tried to destroy them and get rid of them over time. They're viewed as like a nuisance or an inconvenience, and people have always tried to remove them. Moon Knight actually relates to this demon alien building character, which is interesting. And I really enjoyed this concept, and I'm hoping to see what they do moving forward because in a previous issue, Moon Knight's midnight mission, basically his base of operations, was destroyed. But now this new like alien weird mystical building thing reforms and becomes the new midnight mission, which I think is kind of a cool concept. Like Moon Knight, you know, he has like now this is kind of like his own unique base, you know, not really. I mean, I don't know what other hero's base of operation it would compare to besides, I guess, Doctor Strange's. So I'm very interested to see what, you know, maybe the case with this going forward. Also, I'm wondering, this may actually be part of the plan of this villain Zodiac, who's been kind of the overarching bad guy of this series. I wonder if Zodiac kind of set up this situation here. Maybe he wants Moon Knight to take this as his base. I don't know. That could also, you know, be kind of an interesting conflict. But, you know, overall, pretty simple story here, but, you know, very enjoyable. I think this series as a whole has been very enjoyable, you know, solid. You know, Jed MacKay, I think, is doing a good job. You know, he's kind of building a new supporting cast for Moon Knight. You know, Moon Knight's original supporting cast is kind of, I guess, kind of abandoned him over time, which, you know, I guess is fine, especially after his whole trying to take over the world with the Avengers, which, you know, what happened previously to this series. But, you know, I'm wondering, it could be cool to see, you know, Frenchie or Marlene, even Crowley, you know, make an appearance again. What do they think of Mark's new direction here? I think that could be interesting. But, and then, yeah, in the last page here, we get this guy. He escaped from prison the last issue, so I'm guessing he's going to become a problem in the next issue here. So, overall, you know, pretty solid issue. I really enjoyed it. Probably, you know, I'd probably just give it a 9. You know, I don't really have much to complain about. Just quick, enjoyable read, you know, and I think it fits in well with the Moon Knight universe very well. I always like when they give him equally strange and kind of vaguely mystical villains to go up against. And I'm curious to see how this goes moving forward, because now we're past the whole Devil's Reign event, which kind of just threw a little wrench in this series. The last issue is, you know, kind of, you know, in my opinion, a bit unnecessary, but this, I feel, is getting us back on the right track, and hopefully we'll continue to build upon the story here, the overarching story, and I would like a, you know, start wrapping up this story with Zodiac, you know, get to some conclusion on this, and yeah, so, you know, pretty simple, just good issue. So if you enjoyed this review, you know, please like and subscribe. A lot more reviews on the way.